Deep in the meadow, near the old pond, Mama Duck Lerky sat patiently on her nest. "Cluck, cluck," she whispered. "Hurry up, little ones. The world is waiting." Crack, crack. One by one, the smooth white eggshells broke open. Out popped 6 tiny, fluffy ducklings. They were yellow as buttercups and peeped, "Peep, peep, Mama." Lerky counted them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She looked at the last, biggest egg. It was gray and strangely shaped. Still waiting, she thought. Finally, the last egg cracked, making a loud pop. Out stepped the 7th duckling, but he wasn't yellow. He was much bigger, and his feathers were gray, like a cloudy morning. "Oh dear," murmured Mama Lerky. "You look quite different, little one, but you are still my duckling." She nudged him gently with her beak. The little yellow ducklings wobbled closer. They looked up at their large gray brother. "You are too big," peeped one, "and too gray," squeaked another. Cygnus felt a funny, heavy ache in his chest. He tried to wiggle his tail and play with them, but they quickly waddled away. Mama Lerky led all the ducklings down to the pond for their first swim. "Paddle, paddle," she taught them. They all paddled beautifully, even the big gray one. But when they returned to the grass, the yellow ducklings kept their distance. "Stay away, Ugly," they hissed softly. Cygnus tried to hide behind a big green leaf. Mama Lerky frowned at the yellow ducklings. "Be kind," she clucked. But Cygnus still felt a deep, lonely ache. He wondered, will I always be the different one? The new duckling, Swan, was big and clumsy, with long legs and a dusty gray coat. The 5 yellow ducklings stared. "He's big," peeped Pip. Mama Reed just smiled, tucking the new arrival under her wing. "He is one of mine," she said softly. "Now, let's learn to swim." Mama Reed led her children out of the nest and down to the water's edge. Waddle, waddle, waddle went the 5 neat yellow ones, right in a row. Thump, thump, tumble went Solon. His long feet got tangled, and his large body tipped over. He was not a neat waddler at all. "Oh, Solon," laughed the yellow ducklings. They didn't mean to be mean, but they thought his tumble was very funny. Solon felt a heavy thump in his heart. But in the water, Solon was wonderful. He pushed off with his big webbed feet and glided. He moved so smoothly. The little family swam along the winding marsh path. They passed Old Man Frog sitting proudly on a lily pad. "Well, look at that," croaked Old Man Frog, shaking his head. 5 lovely golden birds, and 1 big strange fellow. What an odd group. Solon heard the words. He tried to swim faster, dipping his head low into the water to hide his face. Why didn't he look like everyone else? Mama Reed bumped him gently with her beak. "Don't listen to the frogs, Solon," she whispered. "Being different is what makes you, you, and I love all of you." Even though Mama Reed was kind, Solon's heavy heart felt like a stone. Thump, thump, thump. "Maybe if I go away, they won't feel shame for me," he whispered sadly to the moon. Before the sun was awake, Solon lifted his big gray wings. He gave one last look at his nest and flew up, up, up. His family was still sleeping soundly. He flew over fields of gold and forests painted bright red and orange. Autumn was beautiful, but Solon was too lonely to notice the colors. He flew and flew, looking for a place to be just Solon. He finally landed in a big, strange pond. A flock of large, elegant birds with long, white necks were floating there. Solon paddled toward them hopefully. The wild birds only hissed, their long necks stretched high. Solon knew he didn't belong here either. He hurried away and hid in the thickest patch of dried reeds. Soon, the air turned sharp and biting. The wild birds gathered their strength, called their goodbyes, and flew away to the warm south. Solon shivered, alone now with the wind. One morning, a cold surprise arrived. Tiny white flakes danced down from the sky, dusting the reeds and the ground. Solon didn't know snow. Winter had found him. The water began to freeze, turning the pond into a sheet of hard, cold glass. Solon had to paddle all day and night in one small spot to keep the water moving. Solon grew weaker, and his big webbed feet finally grew tired. He froze fast in the ice, trapped. Luckily, a kind farmer walking by saw the poor, gray fellow stuck. The farmer carried Solon gently to a warm, dry shed. He gave the tired bird clean straw and fresh grain. Solon closed his eyes and slept, safe from the cold and dreaming of the spring. The Ugly Duckling, Part 4. Solon awoke with a happy little sigh. He stretched his big, gray body. No more ice, no more cold. He was tucked into a soft, dry bed of straw. He felt safe in the warm, quiet shed. Soon, the farmer's little girl, Daisy, peeked through the shed door. "Mama, look," she whispered. Solon blinked up at her. He knew he looked strange, but the little girl's eyes were kind. Daisy's brother, Pip, came running over. "He's so clumsy." Pip giggled, watching Solon try to waddle. Solon felt a little bit sad, but he knew the children didn't mean to be mean. Mr. Barnaby, the kind farmer, would visit Solon every morning. Solon stayed through the long, snowy winter. He ate fresh grain and drank clean water. Day after day, he grew stronger and taller. Solon missed the wide, open water, but he was patient. He listened to the rain outside and waited for a special sound. Chip, chip, chirp. It was the happy sound of spring. Solon knew it was time to leave. He thanked the children with a soft quack. He thanked Mr. Barnaby with a hopeful look. His big feet felt ready for a new journey. Mr. Barnaby opened the door completely. Solon took a deep breath of the fresh, sweet air. He waddled quickly out of the shed and across the grassy field towards the big, shimmering pond. Splash! Solon dove into the cool water. Oh, how wonderful it felt! He stretched his neck and looked down at his reflection in the perfect, clear pond. He saw his reflection, but it wasn't the small, clumsy bird he remembered. He was bigger and whiter than before, with a long, graceful neck. He paddled with a new, strong confidence. Suddenly, Solon saw 3 enormous, beautiful white birds glide past. They dipped their long necks in greeting. Solon felt his heart fill with a warm, new feeling. He was no longer alone.